Casey Wong, and I'm a makeup effects artist for the motion picture industry, mainly based out of LA. Basically, the job of the special makeup effects artist is anything unusual relating to makeup. So any type of transformation that doesn't deal with visual effects, meaning no opticals, everything that's done in-house practically is what we do. So any kind of old age makeup, creature effects suit. Worked on Apocalypto and the new 300, Pirates of the Caribbean, the third one, so that was on Stranger Tides. Professionally, I started in shops at 8, but before then, I saw the James Whale production of Frankenstein. That was made in 1931, and it starred Boris Karloff in probably the best character makeup that's been done by Jack Pierce. Forrest J. Ackerman was the man who coined the term sci-fi instead of science fiction back in the early 50s. Before then, the term sci-fi didn't exist. It was either science fiction or scientific fiction, but it wasn't until the early 50s that Forey coined sci-fi from hearing hi-fi on the radio. I met Forey when I was 4 years old, the same year I saw Frankenstein, so it was a very magical year for me growing up. And basically what happened was there was a small clipping in the LA Times that my parents saw about this man that had collected a collection of over 300,000 things of monster stuff. They knew that their son was into monster things, so they're like, okay, this is a good Saturday trip. Forey would always have tours on Saturdays. And so basically from that point on, my parents would keep taking me every Saturday because I wanted to see more stuff. Because I was always interested in how they made it. And at Forey's house, you could see how they made the things, because a lot of these things were falling apart, so you could see the metal armature in King Kong or things like that. So you can kind of see how these pioneers made this stuff. And I was a weird enough kid that I cared about that, you know. So my parents would take me religiously every Saturday to Forey's house. I'm so fortunate that I had the, you know, pretty much, in my opinion, the best parents in the world, that told me that I could do anything as long as I was willing to work really hard for it. And, you know, Forey was the same way. He said, you know, well, if this is really what you want to do, you know, if you really work hard at it, you can do it, you know, and you can do anything you set your mind to. So pretty much that kind of set me on my path of my life. Nowadays there is a downside to being a makeup effects artist, just because the industry's changing so much. Really within the last even 5 years, I've seen such a major change of things going digital. Very few people are shooting on film anymore, even. You know, so it's not so much just CGI, it's filmmaking as a medium is changing. And that's really up the ante for the stuff that we do, whether, like back in the day in the 80s, you know, to create a monster, it could be done quickly and cheaply, and it didn't have to be fully rendered, meaning we didn't have to sculpt every skin pore, we didn't have to, you know, put flicks of paint on to make it look like broken up skin and all that finite stuff that we have to do nowadays, because the digital medium picks up everything. Back 20, 30 years ago, we still wanted to make cool stuff, but it wasn't to the refined way it is today. So I think people wanting to get into it now, either people my age or younger, might want to kind of reconsider, because there is a portion of our work that's being taken digitally. No regrets of me being a makeup effects artist. I've loved every moment of it, from when I was 8 years old to now being 23. I have absolutely no regrets in between. And it's like a relationship, I'm sure. There's good times and bad times, but I wouldn't trade any of those for anything, you know, because it's made me who I am, you know, from one film. And that's why films are so influential on everybody, not just craftspeople, but just on the public in general, that we're creating worlds that don't exist on film, that, you know, you walk out of the theater and you're not in Frankenstein's lab that was totally created. So that's what intrigued me, was creating things that don't exist but giving them life.
I just want to say that third Pirates of the Caribbean was at World's End, not on Stranger Tides.
No, Stranger Tides was the last one. Are you shooting this?
Yeah.
Alright, well, you know, this is actually from the Acker Mansion, this little Yoda puppet. And actually a car manufacturer made this for Forey and sent it to him.
But you said the third Pirates of the Caribbean.
Was that the fourth?
Stranger Tides is the fourth, yeah. Remember they made that stupid fourth one?
I don't remember. It's a toy Yoda. It's a bit of a thinker. I worked on the last one, right? night. Last movie.
I'm just saying, there's gonna be one guy in the class that's gonna be like, "Hey, I'm definitely at World's End, not Chicken
Shut
Fights."
up.